Hi, and welcome to episode number 66 of Dreamers and Doers, where I interview people who follow their passion and use it to make the world better. I think that's you, Rommy Jelly. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for your time, there, for your support, love, everything.
And so I met you back in June at the New Earth Festival here in Bali, and I was amazed that. So I went to. You'll describe what it is to a ThetaHealing meditation, and I went to your breathwork, and both activities were amazing, and I was really impressed. I was like, wow, who's that pure incarnation of the divine feminine, holding space for all these people to let go of whatever don't serve them, and I thought it was really beautiful. And now you're part of the book that I'm doing soon too, so I'm really honored about this. And as usual, and for you it's a really interesting one, I like to start with my guest story. So what is your background and how did you get into, let's say, spirituality in general and energy work, and especially breath work and theta healing?
Well, basically, I was a very mind-oriented person. I was totally in my mind. I was always like the best student. Like, I come from Mexico. In Mexico, 10 is the best average. So all my friends that have known me since then know I was like always like in this part of like the best student, all my life. And for me, it was all just about achieving things, external things, perfectionism, and it was tiring. But anyways, I was trying to always be perfect, the best in everything, but however, like at the same time, I was always since I was born, since I remember, it was just like I knew there was something different, there was something else. So I was in a very young age. I would tell my mom things like, I think every time I see something, it's what I see, it's affecting what is happening. And she was just like, what are you talking about, So I even went to psychologists, and they would tell me I have like the omnipotent syndrome, that I could do that I could do everything.
You thought you were a goddess.
And I was like, oh, I'm so wrong, because I'm not that. I don't have to be that, no, Or saying like, hey, do you think I like, hey mom, I feel that every time I eat healthy, my cells are very happy. And I'm like, yeah, your cells are very happy, but like years ago that sounds crazy. Now it sounds kind of normal. So I always have this crazy
sounds normal to us here in Bali, where people know we manifest our lives. And
exactly.
Yeah.
But imagine back then, like years ago, it was just like, wow. So I was always feeling like there was, I knew this cannot be it, And then at some point, I began with meditation. That was my first approach. And I was just experiencing beautiful things in meditation. I really loved that. And through that, I began to experience different things. I was in so many different holistic techniques. Because when I was a child, every time I sneeze, my mom would give me like, medicines. Like, so I was oversaturated with that. So, and I was overprotect. I mean, I love her. She's amazing. But she just did her best. So she overprotect us. She just, medicines and this. So I was kind of like, I don't know, feeling not powerful enough, And then when I began realizing all of this, I was like, no, I don't want medicine. I don't want antibiotics. And I haven't taken any antibiotics or medicine for years. And then, I don't know, maybe it was that the life beautifully allowed to see this extreme, to know that I wasn't in that, Though I love my parents so much, and I have a beautiful relationship with both of them. I was kind of like with another programmation, My mom was like, where did you, how come you were born with these ideas, in a funny way. So it was always this search of things, and the yoga, and then courses, and reading metaphysics was the first thing that opened me the possibility to realize there's something else, metaphysics, and then quantum physics, and then from there it was, I think, like once you kind of like open a little bit the door, it's like whoosh.
But then, even despite that, you pursued quite a, let's say, standard corporate career for a while.
Yes, that's, of course, I was in this, like, perfectionism. I graduated very, very young. Then I was working with corporate worlds, like Danone yogurts, with huge companies, IKEA, and always, like, in a very good positions, and Thomson Reuters. And then I was just at a very young age leading big teams with people like way older than me, and I was the boss, you know. And so I was using my masculine energy so much, and I was very successful in the sense of like giving amazing results, having an amazing income, an amazing job, with lots of freedom. But I wasn't feeling fulfilled, you know. I was feeling like empty, like I don't drink. I have never smoked, and so for me it was tough, like being with my friends that I love a lot. But my friends in Mexico City were more like, let's hang out for 8 hours sitting down drinking alcohol and smoking and just talking about the nightclub, for example. And that was fun at some point, but as I was just like, I don't feel like drinking, and I don't feel like being here, and there was something you know that I was missing. And then I decided to leave like aside everything, and I said like, this is not me. I mean, I just need to move, like a major change. So I decided to quit my job 3 times, because the first time my boss didn't allow me. He's like, no, you stay. What do you want? More money? I was like, okay. And then again, and the third time he's like, okay. And I was like, it's not about the money. It's not about. It's amazing. I'm really. I remember I even cry. Like this is amazing, but I don't know what I'm doing. But I need to go. So I quit. And then brave enough, because I didn't have any plans. And then I moved to Tulum, which was a beautiful town beach that I was just resonating a lot with that beautiful energy. I was like, I just want to move, and then left everything aside, and I had like some savings by then, some investments. So I was like, I can just leave, like, you know, for the next year. But it wasn't about that. It was just like, I just want to explore. So I gave away most of my belongings, my clothing, expensive bags, like everything, you know, like just giving away everything. My mom was shocked, like, oh, but this cost this. And I'm like, but it's not serving me right now. It's gonna, you know, be heavy in my new life. So, and I was just very brave, but I never thought or imagined that right when I just gave away everything, quit my job, and gave back, like left everything, then I had an accident skiing in the snow, and then I broke my knee, and I had to be in bed. So the universe stopped me. So by then it was like 2 months in between. I quit everything, and then I had the accident. But by then I had already had a job, because I was very good at like getting jobs very fast. And then I had to quit my job, and then I was in a relationship, and also he broke me up because I fell down my phone. So I was just like,
in the hospital.
What? I was in my bed by then, and I was like,
that's not nice.
Really? How come? I'm alone. I gotta move. I'm in a new town by myself. No job, no income. Wow. So it was tough.
Yeah.
I'm so
I'm
happy.
laughing, but
I'm so happy I can laugh
so
now.
hard,
But he was hell, like in every sense. But I think now I see everything like it had to be like that, because or else I wouldn't understand. You know, I'm so strong. So any kind of like barrier or you know, I'm always like passive, like yes, succeeding that. But it was so strong and so deep and so long that it was really like made me surrender. You know, and not only that, but that the fact that I heal very fast, because I've been a meditator, like as I said, like since a very young age, meditating every day. So I was just visualizing and meditating and healing fast, and the doctors were telling me like, wow, your bone heals so fast, how do you do that? And then 2 days after, I decided to go dancing. Imagine, that's crazy. You can go dancing after maybe a year. But I was, after 5 weeks, I decided to go dancing, and then I hurt in the tendons, because it was like kind of a miracle that because of the accident, nothing happened, just the bone broke. Okay. But everything else was fine. But then when I healed the bone, then I healed and then I injured everything else. Yeah. And then that's tough. And you know, and then I went back to bed from scratch, again paying physiotherapy. In Tulum there is no physiotherapy, so an amazing human being decided to come all the way from another city 3 times a week. And of course I will pay that with all my savings. So it seems to be dark at some point, but and then the fact that I was repeating the same pattern of healing fast and then hurting and scratch, and it repeat that pattern like 5 times. So it took the whole trip like 8 months.
And and we'll see how that leads to breathwork and theta healing. But there's a few things here I want to comment on. Yeah, it's pretty brave that you. It's interesting when you talk about wanting to quit your job and having a raise and staying, because I feel sometimes in those corporate careers we can get in a golden jail. Yeah. Of like the number of friends that I know wanted to work in consulting or in a bank for 2 years and then go travel the world or do something, and 10 years later they're still there, right?
Yeah.
And I can see how it's always tempting to stay. So yeah, and your path is something that I've seen so much, especially for example the people I put in the book. That's something that comes a lot. Very successful in your corporate career, and then goes like, is that it? Not fulfilled anymore, and goes into more simple ways of through minimalism, quitting their job and looking for fulfillment in other places. And the last thing is, congratulations on being so strong with what happened to you. Like for me, it's nothing compared to all the things that happened to you, but it's true that when with Insight I had an ACL injury, so during 6 months I couldn't do sports, and at the time I was quite devastated, which is actually fine, and I think it was one of the best things that taught me a lot of things around gratitude, especially, and got me into trying improv classes, all the things. So I think now every time I have a challenge, I'm like, great, I'll learn from it, and I feel that's what the mentality you have to.
Totally, because at some point, what really changed my life in terms of inside things, despite of the tools, it was gratitude.
I saw on your bedside table there was The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. I read that 4 months ago, started doing the practice, and really made me
it's
happier
like,
person.
So just so you know, I'm digital, so I have my Kindle, I have all my books there, all of my books. But then when I arrived here originally for 2 weeks and I ended up staying 7 months, I asked my parents, like, could you send me my book? This is the only book.
So The Magic by Rhonda Byrne.
The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. It's changed my life. I've read that book, like, I also have it like digital version and audiobooks. I don't know if there's audiobook, but digital. But the fact that it's there and then you can write and just, it's the only like physical book I have, because it's really changed a lot of my life, and I've read it and gratitude for me, I use it like as a morning routine. I mean, the first thing I do in the morning, even before opening my eyes, is just connecting with that kind of gratitude, and just like remember how fortunate we are, how fortunate I am for everything, no matter the situation external. I'm just trying to focus on good things.
Oh, you always have your breath.
And my breath. So breath work, yeah.
You're always alive, you always have something.
Yeah, so after all this happened, and then I finally ended up surrendering and say, like, okay. Of course, in this time, I took a lot of different techniques. They were magical. I'm really grateful about all the therapies that would come to my place, because I couldn't walk, so give me the therapy, and it's an amazing Mayan healer I know. There is like many other people, that there are amazing people that were helping me, Al Abuelo, Antonio, Avelino, like, wow, I'm really grateful. I was everything that I didn't have, because my friends at some point, kind of like my new friends I just met, kind of like think I was doing like a lot of suffering or drama, and just step outside. So at some point I was feeling even like brokenhearted, and then alone, lonely, and that was my biggest fear in life, was to be alone. So I ended up being alone, and then I just realized I'm never alone. I'm with me, and I love being with me now. But by then it was hard, and so so it was until this time that after having so many therapies, that I just began to start tapping into other kind of healing, energy healing, and just to be very aware of my own energy. I wasn't able to feel my energy. So, and then I said, like, this is something else. And I read a lot, I write a lot, and listen to many things, books. So this was like a process of self-knowledge, my deep journey, all the things that I always wanted to do, that I never had the time. I was just there. I was just drawing sacred geometry, listening to all this mysticism, pyramids, Egypt, Atlantis, Merkaba, all these magical things. Like, I'm sure there's something. Of course, the law of attraction. So I was kind of like being busy in mastering my mind, and through meditation tapping into like this wisdom we all have, but we just need to remember, So I was just there in me. I didn't watch any movie besides like documentaries or like a Heal, another amazing movie. It's more like a documentary, but I just wasn't watching like that, or I was just reading, meditating, like very profound.
And what drew you especially to, so the two practices, let's say, you work the most with now are ThetaHealing and breathwork, right?
Yes.
Why these two in particular?
Because beyond all of the techniques, among all of the techniques I took, I realized they were healing me amazing, but then I was coming back to the same situation as I told you, like injuring again, like and then I was like, why is this happening? Then I just knew it was like my beliefs. I was having these beliefs of being like alone, or being like abandoned, or being like a victim, or being, so I was recreating all the situation for me to be like a victim, for me to be there. And I was like, no. And then someone recommended me ThetaHealing, and so when they give me my first session on the phone, because they can do it on the phone and I also do that online, the minute I hung up, I finally felt different, like inside of me. It was like, wow, what was that? Like, what's this? I didn't ask many things. I just took the session. But the minute I hung up, it was like, wow, this is amazing.
And can you explain a bit what it is?
Sure. ThetaHealing is an amazing healing technique. It's based, all of our like limiting beliefs, faulty beliefs, are in our theta brain waves. Okay. So that's why sometimes when you wanted to, I don't know, you have problems with your girlfriend, or this thing, and then you change your job, or you change the girlfriend, or you change the country, but it's still the same. Like, how come it's repeating? It's always happening to me. Yes, because our beliefs are so strong. Yeah. We are not even conscious, aware about our beliefs, our true beliefs.
So basically, my understanding is that through ThetaHealing, so you have your brain in theta waves, and that's a doorway to the subconscious where that limiting belief is.
And then we scan those beliefs, and I say we because I'm just a channel, and it's like the infinite intelligence. And we scan that and then find out the limiting beliefs, make some muscle tests. I don't know if you're familiar with muscle tests.
Yes.
And so we just confirm the limiting beliefs, and then just...
Can you muscle test through video conference, through a call?
Yes, yes. I do more muscle tests when I have like one-on-one sessions, but when I'm far, I'm more focused on the energy, so I'm quite like certain. But when I'm with people, I like muscle tests for them to see.
Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is muscle testing is you do work with the body because the body knows, and so you ask a question directly to the body, bypassing the conscious mind.
Exactly. It's your body. Knows the truth, and your mind your mind tricks you. So when we do muscle test, we just ask for yes or no. So when it's a yes, your body, it's very strong. It's resonating. It's fluent. Your energy, it's like there, present. When it's a no, then it's a light. So it is weaker. Even your heart shrinks a little bit. So it's different. So you are not as strong. So that's why we muscle test. Different types of muscle tests. You can even like the standing up the pendule, like this, like that. Many muscle tests, but it's really working. And so when you ask something and it's a yes and it's a no, it's different, and the people say like, wow. And so we just replace the beliefs, the limiting beliefs in the ThetaHealing session. And then, because every time you take something out, it has to be replaced, fulfilled, energetically. It's
with a
void.
one.
So it's replaced, and the commands are just like coming, And then muscle test again, and then the people just realize it's changed. But beyond that, the next days, the people, I have like gratefully a lot of testimonials that people just write me like, why did you do this happen? Or sometimes they ask me like,
basically you're a surgeon for the subconscious.
Yes.
You go in there and you change.
Yes, and again, it's not me. It's the infinite intelligence. I'm just a channel for that. But yes, it's working, and yes, it's kind of magic. And ThetaHealing is a brand, so it's like that's what I like it, because it exists. It's a name. It's it's an institution. There's lawyers there. That's what the magic is. The beauty of. It's not like something like what's that. No, it exists. So that helped me a lot. And also breathwork. I used to breathe every day. By then, now I do another kind of breath. But by then I was doing holotropic breath, which make me feel like would make me feel like, because when you don't walk, then your blood is not circulating. It's everything. It's a mess in your body. So I was breathing with this holotropic to just activate my body and to be more like a strength and just to heal, and it was helping me a lot. I was just doing that like for 15 minutes every morning, because that kind of breath it's just that's maximum the amount of time you need, like 15, and then you're kind of like superwoman, like you feel better emotionally. So that really helped a lot. And then I said, like, I really want to go deeper into these both techniques, but I was still in bed, so I didn't know what to do. And then at some point I began organizing in Tulum some healing events, because as there are no osteopaths, not a lot of orthopedists, and in Tulum, at least not 2 years ago, no, not 2 years, like 1 year ago. So I was just wishing the people to avoid suffering what I suffer. I want to make them easy for them. So I would bring osteopaths that help me to Tulum for healing them, like this caravan of healing. And so I began organizing that with my little structure. I didn't have a lot by then. My savings were like every time smaller. But most of the people in Tulum knew my story. They were very empathetic with me. There's a lot of people that I love there, and they were just very supportive. So they would just hotel owners allow me to do it in the hotels. So mainly everything digital, because I couldn't walk a lot, but a few steps, just And at some point, someone reached me from the States and said, like, hey, I've heard you are organizing events in Tulum. I would like that was like pure magic, I would like to bring a ThetaHealing course, like the basic course. It's called DNA 1 course to Tulum, for people to just get a certification. And I was like, what? That's what I was wishing, but I couldn't fly, I couldn't move, I couldn't. And I was like, yes, I would love to, because the healing really, really helped me, and I'm really interested. He didn't know. I was like, really? So I said, like, yes, let's do that. And then in return, I organize everything. In return, I bring the people, but I you allow me to do the certification. And he says, yeah. So we did that. I got my certification, and then 2 days after, I just told my friends, like, for the first time in my life, something holistic, because I studied Reiki, yoga training, trophology, like many things, but I could never share that. I was always just staying with that.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't want to?
So I was so busy in my corporate world, in my life of working 10 hours a day, that I don't know, or maybe I wasn't ready. I don't know what happened. But in this process of the 8 months in bed, something happened. I surrendered. I said, like, okay, I'm open to, if I have to help or to serve or whatever, I will. I'm just here to serve whatever I need to do. That was my openness by then. And then I began to just give for free to my friends, like sessions and sessions and sessions, and they began to, wow, this is great. Wow, this is great. They began to invite me to do retreats, to this, to that. And then at some point they found out in Costa Rica. They invited me to a festival. They invited me to a festival in Tulum. They invited me to a festival in Bali Spirit Festival here in Bali. So it was like around the world, like it was, the word of mouth was big, and I was doing that for free, even though I didn't have the resources, but I was just still giving. I was just like this, I'm just really want to give. I don't care about anything. So and then I came to Bali to the Spirit Festival, and then I I booked the wrong flight. Instead of booking from San Jose, Costa Rica, where I was, I booked San Jose, California. So watch out, guys. And so I was in Costa Rica, like, yes, I wanna make my check-in, but doesn't allow me. And no, ma'am, this is San Jose, California. You're in San Jose, Costa Rica. Like, what? So I missed the flight. And I was like, no. So I couldn't come. I was just like super shocked. Every time I tried, they would block my credit card, or there would be no tickets left, or the internet would. But I wasn't able to just book. I was like, what's going on? So I just stayed in Costa Rica. And then afterwards, I still want to go to Bali. There was no point. I was alone. I didn't know anyone. That was my first time here. I didn't know anything about Bali. But I was just felt the call. I was like, but I still want to go. So I paid credit card my other ticket. I was like, I'm just going. And then I arrived here. And the minute I arrived, a very good friend of mine, she happened to be here, and she knew I was in the airport, and she wrote me like, hey, are you going to go to Bali? Are you in Bali for the Spirit Festival? And I was like, no, I just lost the dates. And she says like, I'm arriving today. And I'm like, wow, I'm arriving tomorrow. So she ended up having everything, and then we were together. And like 4 days after I was here, with no reason for me to be here, a friend told me like there was like a teacher training, like a facilitator training of breathwork.
Oh, okay. So
And
you
I
saw
was
it as a
like,
sign.
and I was like, wow, breathwork, I would love to, But when I saw the price, I was like, no, I cannot afford this, But anyways, I applied. I was like, maybe next year, maybe it's once a year, It's an academy that came to Bali. And then when I finished applying, like this long application of 4 pages, they called me. I was like, hey, are you up for the training? And I was like, well, next year. I was like, no, are you up for it was Friday.
Okay.
And it will be the next one beginning Monday. It was already closed. I was like, are you up for the one on Monday? I was like, no, this Monday, no. I'm just like for next year. Well, there's a space. And I was just like, well, I cannot afford that, And they say like, well, listen, if you don't stay in the villa, then the price is like half.
Okay.
And as I was living here already, I was like, wow, this can work. I mean, it was in another, it was in Canggu, but anyways.
Yeah.
And I said like, so I just stand, I said like another like big effort with my credit card was like, I'm just feeling worthy. And I remember I have a friend that told me like, you are crazy. Why are you doing that? You just get yourself to work, do the marketing. What do you know to do? And just stop about these things and just make some money and stop your story, I was like very flowy.
Yeah.
I didn't listen. I did my certification.
Fuck yeah.
I was like,
follow the inner voice.
Exactly.
Inner call.
I'm just about that. And then the next 2 days when I graduated, I said like, listen, I'm just gonna organize a breathwork workshop. And then I felt like, oh my god, I don't know anyone, because I was here like for 4 days before I began my training. So I didn't know anyone, just my friend, and she was going back to somewhere. So I was just like, what I'm gonna do? And then in the villa where I'm staying, I said like, I'm just gonna do it in the villa, for free. And if one person comes, it's perfect. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast things can go when you just go for it and don't overthink it and like kind of say yes to life in a way,
Exactly.
right? It's very interesting what you're saying, because when I met you at that session you were giving in June, I was like, like in my mind you would be someone who had been doing that for like 20 years and been living in Bali for you knew everyone. And actually you had just arrived a month before, but you kind of accelerated everything by just going for it.
I definitely believe that when it's like a higher when you really find your true purpose, then you don't have to worry about anything. It's gonna sound like hippie, but it's deeper than that. The universe just gives you, supports you, provides you with everything.
Can I go even more than that? Goosebumps. Sorry, you're yeah. No, I totally resonate with that, and almost when you were saying when you feel your true purpose, I feel some people they're like, I'm not sure about my purpose. I would say, even if you're not sure, you're like, for me, I'm not sure it's my true purpose. like I'm careful with this because some people get paralysis by analysis. They're like, is that really my true purpose? I'd say what you say
Never
like
mind.
it's like so beautiful and so true, but I would almost extend it even to when you feel something, you're curious about something and you feel drawn to it, even if you're not sure.
Yeah,
Like
that's
because
true.
I'm sure you weren't
No,
sure.
that's
at
true.
the time.
I wasn't. I didn't know by then. Like for example, breathwork was my true purpose. But I'm just using the words that whenever it's something that resonates and your heart or your intuition, talks to you like very soft. It's like, hey, do this, and your mind is like, do that, shouts. So of course we listen to our mind because it's louder. It's louder. But when you really like quiet your mind and just listen, like you have this like little. And for me, breath work helped me. Before taking the decision, I knew the first minute I know that I needed to do that training. But as my friend just told me and said like, no, you have to do money, stop with these stories, And then I went to breathe. And when I breathe, because before I was doing like this holotropic breath work, I discovered the conscious connected breathing technique. So I was breathing like doing deep breathings or breathing meditations, like different kind, but I was breathing already. So I breathed and like for 40 minutes, and just immediately I knew it was a yes. And I was like, it's a yes. I don't care if I have the money or not. Just taking risks. When you feel it like right, just do it, because then, as I say, then the universe provides. And who would tell? Yeah, that who would tell right after I take the decision and did the training, and then I finished and began facilitating. The doors really like open wide, so wide for me here. Like I didn't even need to do anything, and I'm saying this with all my humbleness. Like it was just people liking it, people talking about it, people recommending it, people inviting me, venues inviting me, venues willing to give me my visas, and festivals inviting me. And I was just at some point I was very grateful, but also overwhelmed. That was my feeling in the first months, because it was so many things coming. I was like, oh my god, I'm so new, how am I gonna deal with all of that? And again, it's just like be brave, and just I felt like it was like a huge wave. I'm the surfer. I'm like, oh my god. So I have two options: or I die, or I just learn to surf the wave.
Yeah, it can be a little bit scary sometimes when especially in an environment like here, people are so supportive, and you arrive and people will tell me, oh, you're amazing, and like suddenly people ask you to speak in a podcast and to be on stage and these things, and I know it's it can be intimidating sometimes.
Yeah.
I think
Because
I mean, for me, at least if I speak for me, I think there's a part of me that's like wasn't feeling deserving. I think sometimes in traditional societies, we're educated thinking we don't really deserve much and we fit in somewhere. And like here, people are like, "Ah, you're amazing," and we somehow at first I wasn't allowing it.
Totally. Or maybe you feel you are not prepared, you are not ready. That's another feeling you normally face, and that was, of course, that was my feeling when they first invited me because in the Valley Spirit and in the other festivals it was ThetaHealing. So I was already good with that, although it was also like a very short time. I began in January, and then I was in the first festival in March, and then March, and then the Spirit Festival. But when they invited me to the newer festival, it was for breathwork and ThetaHealing meditation.
It was amazing. I've done it, by the way. I've done twice your breathwork and once the ThetaHealing.
Thank you.
If you're around.
Very welcome.
Yeah.
And and then when they invited me, I applied, for them, for both of them. And then I said, like, I don't know what they and I applied very late, because there was like I remember my teacher wanted to apply, but she didn't. Then I asked like for a contact to her. She didn't want to give me any contact. I was like, well, I'm just gonna apply through the web page, and then I apply, and I said, like, I have two options, like breathwork or theta healing, you know, like wishing for be only theta healing. And then they answered me. They didn't even answer me, but like a week after, so 1 week before the festival, they just WhatsApp me, not email, just WhatsApp, like, hey, I'll let you know at what time is your workshop. I was like, oh, that means I'm accepted, you know, like I didn't know anything. And I was like, wow. So like 2 weeks before, so from the minute they told me, I freaked out. I was like, oh my god, why didn't they tell me before, you know?
And there were like so many people at your
Yeah.
breathwork.
They told me it was the most attended workshop in the whole festival.
It was packed.
But I didn't know that. I mean, I was just like, I didn't know anyone. I've been living here for a month, maybe and a half.
So funny.
And didn't know anyone because I was just focused on giving lots of workshops for free, breathworks, and then studying and breathing and working on myself that I didn't know. I wasn't out a lot. I didn't know many people, but they already kind of knew me by then. And so when they found out, I don't know what happened, just magic, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't
The
even
magic.
promote myself,
You made it work. You manifested it.
And then they told me in the festival, do you know it was the most attended? It was like more than 50 people. It was packed, and people had to leave because there was physically no more space. And then there were like 5 or 6 other like supportive like assistant that would call me and would just out of the blue like, hey, I know you are facilitating a festival, a breathwork. Can I be your angel? Angel means like assistant that are there to hold space. I'm like, yes. And then when I realized it was 6 of them, I was just like, why so much? What if no one comes? That's ridiculous, you know? And again...
and in the end it went so well, right? Like,
and it was perfect, you know?
Can you share a little bit about the breathwork technique?
Sure. It's called a conscious connected breathing technique. And so it consists on the secret of all of this is just like... Yeah, it's laying down in a bed. Laying down in a mat. But the secret is just to avoid making any pause. It's just continuing, you know, like inhaling, exhaling, and at some point after doing that exactly, and then it's to the belly, you know, like because we are not used to use the belly, we just normally use the chest. So it's inhaling through the belly, and then this is like the yin version of the holotropic because it's soothing you down.
It's so powerful. Like even when we do it for like 20 seconds, I don't know if the listener's been doing it with us, but it's like suddenly there is something that just goes quieter and more calm, right?
Yeah.
And breath is so like, and then you do it and then you're like I don't know, like floating.
It immediately soothes down your nervous system. Even if you do it 3 times, just like you know, if you do it to just stop, you can make pauses, you know, even stop breathing.
Yeah, actually I had a little reminder every hour when I was working a corporate at some point to just do like 6. There's like a Japanese studies that say if you do 6 deep belly breath, it drops your blood pressure.
Yeah,
it's very scientific,
and it has so many benefits. Like it oxygenates, of course, your cells, detoxify your body, just put you in this.
I'm just getting high while you're talking on my breath.
Yeah.
High on your own supply, like Wim Hof says.
Yes, I mean, exactly. When I'm facilitating and I'm explaining the technique, I cannot do it more like 4 times because then I began to get dizzy. I'm so used to breathe that I'm just enter very, very fast now. So it's like for me, it's like, oh, you keep doing, guys. I'm just not doing it because, you know, I'm holding a space, But yeah, so this technique is the yin version of soothing down your parasympathetic nervous system, just very chill, but yet so powerful. It's super deep. I compare this with an medicine plant trip journey. Like you can have like deep shamanic journeys. It's not shamanic breath. It's a different, but you can have like deep shamanic journeys. You can I mean, amazing things, you know.
Lots of emotional release. That's usually what because like psychedelics and plant medicine, they can be a little bit hard for some people. So when some people I know they're not that advanced, let's say, with meditation, I find it's a really good middle ground to get out of the mind more easily than meditation, which can get people can go back in the head a lot and get a lot of release from the body without keeping a little bit more control, let's say, than when you do the plant medicine.
Totally. I say to my clients, because I'm very grateful to have like a lot of clients, like workshops, like group, but also private. So when they reach me and they want a session, or they tell me like, hey Rommy, what can I do? Then I have so many different tools. You know, I facilitate breathwork, private, or meditations, or tailor-made meditations, or ThetaHealing sessions, or like there's like now I have tools, you know. So I just tune to them, and when I feel them very in their minds, as I was like that, I also say like, yes, meditation right now, if it's not guided, if you try to do it by yourself with no guidance, it may be tricky, because yes, you can just stay in your mind. There's like this trick that if you're not like a strong meditator or have done like vipassanas or that, you can just stay in your mind. So with the breath,
and it's more effort. It takes more time. Like I mean, it depends on people, but usually it'd be like after a few months, or well, when you talk, plant medicine is pretty instantaneous, but breath work also, it's like in one go you'd be like, whoa, okay, I get it, and now I'm going to meditate.
It's just like, it's like you break something, you know. And with meditation, requires a long time. It's amazing, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, it's powerful, but it can take. So I would suggest, when it's like extreme, something like wow, I don't know what to do, or have this anxiety or depression, just breathe for an hour, you know. I don't recommend you to breathe by yourself, just have some facilitator, but it would just immediately take you out, like really like a medicine plan, like wow, it would open you. So your mind, after so much breathing continuously, kind of like numbs, you know, like just a little bit is the monkey is just like a little bit like that, and then the infinite intelligence of your body begins to manifest, to, you know. And then I mean, I don't like saying this to my clients, but when we are like breathing, of course we are segregating endorphins, serotonin, you know, all these. And then at some point you also segregate DMT, which I normally don't say, but that's the truth. So that's why people has these trips, these journeys, you know, because you begin to connect with the source, you know. And DMT, you also segregate DMT while you are dreaming, or when you are born, or when you die. So breathing,
or near-death experience also.
Exactly. Or really died.
That's why so many people with a near-death experience, like, they change many things too.
Yes,
like,
because then you
connection.
So, but imagine the beauty of the plants, of course, the medicine plants. So imagine.
So for people, when we talk about plant medicine, I think like there are different ones, but maybe the most common one would be ayahuasca.
I would say the most common would be maybe hikuri, which is peyote, coming from Mexico.
Okay.
Not the most, but one of the most.
Yeah.
Also ayahuasca, which is a mix of chacruna and ayahuasca, which are two plants. I would say also, maybe those two are quite common, but there are a lot, a lot of plants, and they all have, like most of them, they have DMT, and that's why people have this beautiful. But imagine this beautiful healing and these beautiful journeys, but imagine having that just in your nose, with this totally soberness. You don't need nothing, you don't need to hide from no one, you don't need to reach no one. It's you, it's already in you. And so really breathwork has transformed my life into a very beautiful, because being here alone, I mean not alone, but by myself, then having no I don't have like gurus or I would love to, but I haven't had. So I was my only guru, I was my only guidance, and then when I needed to go to the festival, I say, what I'm gonna do, how, and then my teacher wouldn't just be there to answer my questions. So I was just like, wow, what should I do? And I just said, like, I'm just gonna breathe every day. So coming back to this story, to close the story. Before 2 weeks before, when I knew I was gonna leave
Yeah.
I just began breathing 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day. The technique I know, finding all these answers, answers, like clarity, how to do it, with how many angels, where, when, at what time, good technique, everything. I was just downloading everything, information, and breathing, and just by experience, by myself, being able to hold space for others, for others manifest or have like whatever they have, plus the training, of course, the training helped, but nothing like breathing by myself and having the experience. And then I was connecting every time more with the infinite intelligence, and I think that was part of the secret of why so many people attended, so many people came, so many people liked it so much. And another big, huge secret that I want to share is love. When you really do things with love, because that time I didn't charge, and I announced, and I was like, I'm not gonna charge, and I told to the people in the festival, like, I'm just not charging, so I'm just doing it for love, not because I didn't want the money, but because I was really truly loving every human being that was there laying down. My only intention, my purest intention, was for them to heal as I healed, for them to experience the beauty and the reality of the real life, as I did. So to avoid all these emotions that I know we normally as humans feel, so I just wanted them to avoid, and then to feel something different, and then it's been beautiful since then. I'm so grateful with Bali, with all the people here that have opened me the doors wide open to be here, there. I even met the king of Indonesia, and he's very proud also as me and his team. But it was all due to my work. I never asked no one for nothing. I was just chopping wood and carrying water. I wasn't socializing. I wasn't doing. I used to love that, but I was just here, working. And at some point, then things came to me, and the doors would open to me. I didn't have to. I used to do the opposite, search, knock, and it was just like, I'm here. I'm just doing my thing, just with all my love. Just focus, and then the magic started.
And you can follow Rommy Amor.
Yeah.
Rommy.amor on Instagram.
My Instagram is Rommy is ROMY.amor. Amor, AMOR. Amor means love in Spanish, and as I'm Mexican, so that's why.
And I'm definitely feeling the love. I hope the listeners through the podcast can feel all the beautiful vibes and the love that you share.
Thank you.
All the time.
And so my advice would be breathe. Breathe, and just, I don't know, always remember you are responsible and the creator of your own life. We all manifest everything that happens to us, and the minute you just be responsible enough and aware, even though it's horrible things, yes, we are still manifesting that. So don't judge yourself, don't be hard on yourself, just acknowledge that and love yourself. So I know you are not asking me, but I would give like 3 things that have helped me a lot. I mean, besides like gratitude and just love, and in tools, ThetaHealing and breathwork. But as a part of that, I would say, like, first, always be very aware of where are you, like, know yourself. Know your shadows, know your worst things, know your worst thoughts. Just know them, acknowledge them. No, it doesn't matter if it's like whatever it is, if it's like you're crazy, paranoid, schizophrenic, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's you now. Just acknowledge that, and then love yourself. Okay, yes, I have all of this, yes, because we are not perfect, I have all of these not good things, negative things, if you want to call it that, but I'm still love myself. I'm still worthy, even if you do whatever sin in life you think you have done, you are still worthy. Just love yourself despite everything you have done, every mistake you have committed, everything. Just still love you, and then work on that. It's not only finish, I love you, no, you then work on that, work through journaling or do sessions or breathwork or healings or however you want to do it. There's many things, but just work on yourself. It's really important for everyone, just to work on yourself. And at some point, even though if you don't see the results right away, with breathwork you see it, but in long term, it's happening. It's there. It's not just in use. You're gonna see the results. Your life is gonna be unfolding different. Your family, your friends, the people that kind of like give you the back would just turn, or you will know more beautiful new friends, or everything is just gonna flow. And then the work is every day, forever. It's
Every
like
second.
I went to the gym once. I'm strong. I'm not gonna do. No, I mean just go to the gym all your life. Or drink water all your life. It's just like work on yourself every day.
That was so good. I could feel you were like in flow right now, just pouring your heart into these words. It's so beautiful. And I think that balance between working to be a better person at the same time not being hard on ourselves and beating ourselves up is sometimes a little bit of a tough balance. I'd say for me a mantra is doing my best. Because in doing my best, it allows me to to make mistakes or to not be perfect. But I know I do my best.
There's a beautiful book I also want to recommend. It's like Toltec wisdom. Toltecs were like very antique civilizations in Mexico. It's called Los Cuatro Acuerdos.
Because that's one of the 4 agreements. Always do your best. So
it's
like
like
get risk.
Yes, like don't take any personal, and it's the same. It's like love yourself. It's just like don't. Then don't assume. I don't know if I'm translating this well. And then do always the best as possible. And
Force is a surprise.
No.
We don't want to spoil the book for you.
No, and that's very important. Like be very aware of your words. So
be true. Is it?
Sé impecable con tus palabras. Meaning
be
like,
impeccable with your words.
Yeah, like there's so much energy in our words that with your words you can destroy someone or you can help someone in a beautiful way. So just try. I don't know, and it sounds easy, but every time you say a word, if it's not gonna be serving or enriching someone, just better don't, just avoid it, because
just breathe instead.
Breathe. Yeah, because it's a boomerang, so you don't want to have something back, so just like avoid. And I know it's not easy, and I'm not like there enlightened. I would love to, but I'm working every day on that. I do have like this, and then of course I'm a human, but just being very aware every day, and then surround yourself with amazing people, an amazing friend that reminds you that when you are in the dark, in your dark side, that they say like, hey, remember to breathe, hey, remember to just focus on the positive, and remember to just give love. Oh, thank you, because as Abraham Hicks says, like, you will never get it done, you will never make it wrong. So just that's life.
That's so beautiful. We have a little tradition as we wrap it up. A big warm hug. Oh, that's so good. Breathe and hug. That's a good life, right?
Yeah, a very good life.
Thank you so much. Do you have a last word for the listener?
Breathe.
Breathe.
And give love.
Breathe in gratitude and breathe out love. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Thank you, Rommy.
Thank you.